people may be walking by. But Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles, and named Charles.
I actually took the alleys all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, this one, I thought I remember seeing something.
When we got past them.
This is right. We didn't even come near this spot. We would have gone down East Bay Street to go to Liza, and then gone up that way and kind of circled around. I've just been using this as a shortcut to get to Philadelphia.
I was thinking like a lot of that.
I honestly can't say that I've ever walked through there.
I was going to bar and I was trying to see what I guess we could take the menu.
Yeah.
No, I was talking that Mike had.
So I would definitely take your K2 meter. If you get spikes where it like caps out, you're probably gonna need something higher like that. I'm gonna make a left here, but that goes way higher than the K2 meter. The K2 only goes to 25. So that one goes well over 200.
How much does this one cost?
So that's actually, there's a couple versions of that. We're going to make it right and let's make it left.
Oyster hat.
But that one, I'm going to say that's not there's another version of that actually has a REM pod built into it. That one runs for about, say, 190 or something like that. But that REM pod is really nice and handy to have. It's just not necessary when we're walking. Like I said, the proximity is pretty low. And it's not always something we can use at every single location. So I actually, when that one broke, I just replaced it with that one. I was like, I don't need the REM pod. It's not every single time. So it's a nice feature, but when I'm going online investigations, I would just buy REM pods separate and have those. They make cups very cheap on TV shows. But yeah, 110 for that one. It works pretty well. It takes a 9-volt battery. I replaced it every single night. So.
He was saying that
every device, like I use rechargeables. I have 2 sets of rechargeables, and every night I just swap everything. So that way everything's fully charged and the bees keep going straight. But that one's a lot more accurate. And that's set to the same unit of measure as the bees are right now. Practical meter is like almost like an electrician's cable. It uses weighted and standard pressure. So see how that works. Out of your weapons one way. Straight, go right. We're going to put it on weighted for now to see if any goes right there. We kind of play with both of them. But that one is about 190. But I've done a couple of tests like around my home, obviously on the tours. Can't seem to find a consistent reading of wall meter in your right hand.
Smells like plant.
I know. It smells like.
But anyway, back to Ralph. He tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Just come with me to 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from some friends of mine and you'll be safe and good to go. Doctor took him up on the offer. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point that he's not just after Amanda's money. So, he becomes known as the Whistling Doctor. Now, every haunted city has a cliched whistling ghost. But again, we'll talk more about the actual proof of that whistle here in a minute. But Ralph and Dr. Lagos see plays together. I can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He just gets better seats. So they talk about these plays on the way home. They went to go see Richard III one night, and they started arguing over the new actress. The doctor thought she was great, but Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island, and they went their separate ways. It got pretty ugly. Ralph then went to his friends at the newspaper and told them he wanted to place an ad telling the whole city of Charleston what he thought of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of mentality. The doctor saw the ad but rebutted with, let's go to Jeweler's Alley. We're going to come down here and duke it out, and somebody's going to die. So they came down, they took their 10 paces, they turned, the doctor pointed his gun in the air, and he shot. He didn't want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage and bravery to show up for the fight. But Ralph has his one bullet. He puts it in the kneecap of the doctor. Dr. Ladd didn't die, but his friends picked him up and carried him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later. He refused medical treatment. I want to point that out too, and it's only because he's a doctor. Gunshot wounds back in 1786 were a lot different than what they are now. He probably tried to bleed out this bullet wound himself from the lead poisoning. So, they say as you walk all the way through this alley, you can actually hear the whistles. Of course, you don't have to do that because we're using 2 cameras and my voice recorder. Pay attention at this part of your videos in audio and listen for whistles in the background. If you're going to come all the way through here on your own and just use your voice recorders on your phone, I always kind of warn that every local knows the story. So anybody walking up and down Cumberland or Queen Street throws a whistle with their gun. They've Gun and William. Good stuff. William is not relevant here. It's relevant to our next phase. We're getting bleed over, just so you guys know. I haven't checked my word list yet, but the word right was very specific to this location. But the other piece of this is that I got kicked out of here. You guys remember how I got kicked out of here? Because I always tell this story. So you guys don't know, but Connor's like, yeah, I want to hear how the hell Nick got in trouble. So the alley doesn't go all the way through. Or it didn't used to go all the way through this way. It was blocked off. So that means those bricks down there are older. They're sun-dried bricks from slave children, and there's a full handprint in one of those bricks. So I used to show off that brick all the time, but I treat it the same way I do a grave. That kid's not staring at that brick in the afterlife. November 26th of 2020, my entire team wanted to huddle around that brick and wait for something to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along because I know nothing's going to happen. And secondly, it's right outside the kitchen window, the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley, where I didn't know I was out of bounds because it's considered residential. So the new owner came out, he was screaming. My daughter thought it was great because I'm getting yelled at because she was on the tour that night, and we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't work Thanksgiving. The next day after that, I called my partner up and I told him what happened. He said, dude, you can't go down that far. You're only allowed to go down halfway, or you got to reroute the group because of the residents at the end. So I decided that night I'm going to reroute and not tell my group a whole lot about it because I didn't know a lot about pirates. I'm a vampire guy. So before we left, somebody heard the name Anne on a spirit box. I didn't tell them who we were going to be investigating, which was Anne Bonny, the famous female pirate. That's who we're going to be diving into next. So I got a little like, all right, something's going to happen. We get up there, somebody else heard the number 300. Turns out we were there on November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial. So I've been reading more and more books about pirates, watching a whole hell of a lot of documentaries, and of course playing video games that have pirates in them so I can get different versions of the story.
I'm ready to kill Anne.
That might be your cue to give up your spirit box. So we have William. What was the other piece? Gun, right? Gun. Ready to kill Anne. Any numbers coming out of yours? I would expect like a 5 to a 7 because of the lampposts.
I've got nothing. I stayed up 1 over here.
What's funny is I was going through last night's data this morning, and while we were here, the phrase "count your paces" came up on one of the radio stations. You have to take 10 paces in order to perform a duel. Like, I was super stoked about that. That's not a normal thing you would normally do. And gun. And no EMF readings. Anything crazy going on with the cameras?
No.
Do you guys want me to bring out that little Ouija board device, that little envoy? It's up to you.
Sure.
Tonight.
Yes.
She's like, yeah, I want to see it.
I love emojis.
We're not going to use emojis. We're going to use letters.
Oh, I just got something fly across my screen.
That's good.
I'm not sure if it was a reflection because I moved. I was moving it, but.
Who's getting the Ouija board? Ghosts don't know what the hell emoji These are sticky. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. It's dumb. So, come on over.
I mean,
let me show you how to use this thing. Grab your stuff. Alright, so he has been munching a little bit.
oh yeah, I've noticed in
I just ratted
videos,
you out.
when I watch them, the Envoy, every time the Envoy, it seems like confused. Every time a
That's
ghost
why I
uses the Envoy, because it's like,
I don't use that.
it'll
yet,
say
but
something, like vaguely similar, but not quite correct, and
likes
it's
to
like,
give us the wrong spellings of things. I've noticed that. So this device, you have to treat it the exact same way as your K2 EMF meter. That's how it works. We're not going to be using these two sensitivities down here. We're going to be using EMF only because we're outside. So let's take a tripod. So if I was doing an investigation indoors, I would probably use one out of the three at a time. So it's basically an EMF meter, but it's going to give us letters instead of actual numbers like what Mom has. So, in a nutshell, there's our friend Remy climbing across the wall. Yep. Yeah, he's pretty much been down here tonight. But basically, in a nutshell, anytime there's an EMF spike, anytime there's a spike, it's going to take the cursor that's moving all the letters, and it's going to put it into the bottom row. So what we're looking for are initials, any kind of anagram we need to decipher. So when I say anagram, so my name, Nick, would come up like NCKI. We have all the letters that make up my name, we just have to rearrange it to get it, if that makes sense. Certain names like Eliza obviously have an odd letter of Z in it, so that would be like your first clue that we might have an anagram we need to decipher. Obviously it's given us a few specific spellings time to time, not a whole lot. We usually have to decipher what's going on with it. But anytime you get a bottom row that's full, you're going to take a big dial, turn it down to 6 o'clock, and then you're going to go back up to 9 o'clock and get a nice fresh start. Every new location, we only got 2 more locations to go to, so every location you're going to restart it and see if anything else actually comes up out of it.
So does it like save?
No, you have to tell me what's going on so I can write down the letters. So, it's very, again, it's not always productive every single night. Sometimes we just get the very specific letters that a word starts off with, especially if it's a long word. So let's just take arthritis, for example. It might spell out the word art because those are the first 3 letters, if that makes sense. So sometimes you have to kind of take the clues of what you have, because the ghosts don't know how to use this thing yet. Even though I still have it out here, I'd say half of the time. Again, they still don't know what they're doing with it yet. And I've literally been coaching them. If I come down here early enough before I meet with you guys, I'll go work with that at a location and tell them how to use it. So that way they know, like, they can get a little bit closer, drop a little bit more energy from, my cell phone or whatever they need to, so that way they can create that EMF to make it go off and show me a letter. And I'll say, I'm looking for the letter P. Can you make a letter P show up? Those kind of things. I start off real simple with them. I'm still trying to train the ghosts, so to speak. So again, you guys know that this is all I do. So that's why I'm getting an office down here. I'm actually going to start going and doing lives at 3 a.m. on YouTube. So I'm going to be down here working on your data. I'm going to be done by 3 o'clock. I might as well give you guys more by going to one specific place and talking about it and showing off different pieces of my gear. It'll be a PR piece of marketing, but at the same time, you guys will have something to see if I capture something on that camera, because that's probably what I'm going to tour with when I walk around the city. So I'll probably just go to one specific place and talk about it for a few minutes, show off the devices, and then that'll be the end of it. It'll probably be like 15, 30 minutes at a time, because who the hell's going to get up at 3 a.m. and really watch me? So I'd rather make 30-minute videos at 3 a.m., show the time, that kind of thing, and just have some fun with it. But I'm already going to be down here, the wife's already going to be sleeping, I was going to create more content for the website. So it's going to be that fun. Anyway, Connor, you got anything else going on over there?
no, but I did notice there's flies flying around,
Okay.
so.
More than likely is.
Yeah.
Go ahead and stop your video and give it a break. And damn it, that David. I'm telling you, every time I come here, for like the past month, it's been somebody here's the name David. And I'm going to write it down again, just so I remember to look into him even further. Because again, I've dug and dug and dug and dug.
And actually, there's someone that got hit by a car recently in here.
Why would you say that?
I don't know, that's just why it came
Well,
up.
everyone looks for historic characters, and sometimes it's not historic.
Alright, any crazy readings yet?
No.
Expect your right device, your millimeter, to go up anywhere between 3 to 5, just based where we're sitting right now is because of the electrical pole over here to your left, because we have one here and one in the corner. Also on this front half of the lot, I don't get too excited because the parking meters on the other side of the bushes there. So again, it's normally out of the back half that I used to look for those kind of readings. Alright, so let's get into this pirate story. We're near the powder magazine. This place is what I call a familiar. You guys all watch your YouTube videos?
It says, oh, I just heard someone say, "Get out of here."
Yeah, I'm not taking it.
Okay.
And you can, whatever you hear, just repeat exactly what you heard.
That's gonna be like stuff every like 10 seconds.
That's okay. I'll keep talking unless it's relevant. So, and you don't need to shout because we can all hear you. So,
He does that every day.
yeah.
I just said that's right.
Okay. See what I mean? Like, and that's a perfect volume right there.
Yeah.
So the powder magazine, you guys have seen your YouTube videos where they use the teddy bear to track the child ghost. It's the same type of principle here. The building is familiar to Anne Bonny because it was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny came here to start a new life, hopefully as a pirate later on. So here's how the history goes. 1708, a young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormac. She comes here with her father and his mistress. Her mistress, his girlfriend, is Anne's mother.
Tears on the stomach.
That's an interesting one. So the three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. So it's kind of a weird, twisted scandal going on between the four of those people. But anyway, they land in Georgetown. You guys know where that is. It's just north of here. Dad bought a plantation. Mom died pretty quickly. So that means he's got to send young Anne down here to be able to sell anything from the plantations to keep things afloat. She recognizes the building, which is why we're here. We don't have many buildings this old. So, back home in Ireland, Anne was kind of a badass even back then. Oh, that makes sense now. They say she killed a servant when Anne was 7, 8, 9 years old with a knife to the belly. You heard tears in
Before
the stomach.
this.
So, that's a good one. Remind me, please, to write that one down. That's a good one. I want to keep going. Wow, that was actually almost, like we've had knife, servant, and belly all in the same evening, but never like one full phrase that described the whole thing. That's very interesting. We're going to fast forward. By the time Anne gets here, and it's about 1715,
Cancer.
pirates are coming through town. Anne's pretty stoked because she's going to fall in love. So that way she can earn her freedom, just like a man. The first guy she falls in love with is James Bonny. You already see where this one's
We are
going?
no longer friends.
That's correct. Her and James are no longer friends. And then, well. But anyway, you can see where the pirate name came from. They ran away to Jamaica because Dad didn't approve, and they got married. When they got down there, she realizes that her husband, James Bonny, is not Captain Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer, which means he's a spy for the British. He's a coward. He's definitely not Captain Jack Sparrow. The next guy she falls in love with a few years later is John Rackham. He goes by Calico Jack. This is the guy that they based your Johnny Depp character off of. So that kind of gives you an idea of who he is. Now, Calico Jack has his own crew, and Anne wants to be part of it. Can't put a girl on a pirate ship because it's bad luck, so he makes a deal with her. If you dress like the crew and look like the crew, you can be part of it, but you're going to be a female in my quarters. She's eventually, being a female in his quarters, is going to get pregnant, and you cannot have a pregnant dude on the crew. So he makes, obviously a big deal out of it, and he drops her off in Cuba, so she can drop the baby over there. Come back later, and we'll figure it out. While she was gone giving birth to his firstborn child, he captured another pirate crew down below deck. She's going to go flirting, because that's who Anne is. Guy number 3, in case you were losing track of how many guys she's actually been with. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the crew that Calico Jack captured. Now we have 2 females, dressed like males, trying to be pirates on the same ship. This young lady's name is Mary Reed, and went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. Not David, damn it. Not damn David. Sorry,
95.
95. I'm going to write it down.
Thanks, Megan.
So, her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers, we're not going to really know for sure, but the British found out where they are, and they sent a fleet of ships to come take them down. Obviously, 2 ladies with flintlocks are not going to be able to take on a whole fleet of ships. The drunken crew that Calico Jack captured is too drunk to come up and fight. So, they get arrested. And as they're being arrested, she looks at Jack, her beau, and says, "You should have fought like a man instead of being hanged like a dog." The word dog comes up here on your spirit boxes a lot, just so you know, that's a big deal. The judge wants to see the 2 men that fought back so valiantly on their own. He's already tried and hung Jack and the drunk pirates that wouldn't fight. 2 ladies go in front and reveal their gender to the judge, hoping to save themselves, and he doesn't care that they're female. He's still going to hang them because they're still pirates. "We plead our bellies," was the last thing they shouted, because you can't hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. He sends them both back to jail and delays the hanging. Dad is still up here with his Irish money. He bails out Anne and brings her home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4, because we're going to count Mary. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Mary Reed died a few months after she got captured and was placed back in jail, and died from whatever pirates die from in a jail. So use your imagination. I'm going to call it scurvy. Everybody else says that it's probably something simple like fever, and that's coming from books and articles. So, a couple questions I left out of here on purpose for the Spirit Box folks. I left out the name of Anne Bonny's parents, which we already have one of the names of her parents. You told me William earlier. That's the bleed over. Her father's name was William Cormac. Let's find out what her mother's name was. I also left out the name of Calico Jack Ship, the city of where Anne Bonny has come from in Ireland, and what color her hair was. And I'm going to give you that one. It is red. So if you hear the word red anywhere in there, that's an easy one.
I'm pretty sure I heard it earlier.
That's a good possibility. We've been getting it more and more in this location. Other tours do come through here, just cutting by, as you guys already saw, and they yell to the right, to the right. That lady was super loud, was she not?
Yeah, she scared me.
Like, I'm like, holy cow. That's why I don't do the large groups. So, again, 10 people is plenty. I actually took a team of 12 out on Monday because there was rain, and I had to move some people around, so it ended up being 12. I can still take
Marriage,
up to 14,
devotion.
based on how much gear I have. I just don't like to do it. It's just the more people, it gets a little bit frantic for you guys when I'm trying to keep up with what everybody's listening to and what they're hearing. So we will spread out in this lot. What corner did you tell them not to go to?
Like over there. We'll probably still go out over there.
I want to go to the corner.
I have the word
Jesus Christ.
You're near the church. You're going to get a lot of that. A lot of religious terms come up here. First and foremost, I do have the word trial, which we've already mentioned, the date on that one. So that was a pretty big part of her life, so I'm excited about that. And we also have the name Elizabeth. The reason that I'm excited about Elizabeth is because Charles Pinckney is buried across the street. Eliza's husband. Eliza's full name is Elizabeth. He will give us clues about his wife over here. It's weird. His first wife is also married, or that he married, is across the street as well. That's Eliza Lamb Pinckney. So again, depending on which Elizabeth he's talking about, hopefully he gives us a secondary clue. I don't know much about his first wife, but if we can get a secondary clue, like the name Charles or Lucas, which was his second wife's maiden name, something along those lines, I'll be super stoked that we have that definitive evidence.
Yeah, that one's devastating.
Alright, so let me get the terms again from what you guys heard, and we will spread out in the space and see what we can find. So let me grab my notebook. I like tears in the stomach. That one's obviously a pretty big one. 95 is a possible something. I just don't know what. Where are we? So tears.
The dog has a collar.
The dog. See? Told you you'd get good at this. Writing in the dark is a new resume piece for me, by the way. So, like, the fact that I can do it and decipher it all in the morning. You also heard the word devastating. It's a little vague for me, but I'm still going to write it down.
Moose.
What was it?
Moose. That.
Could have been a pirate named Moose, for all I know. Again, I'm going to look it up and see. Because there is Blackbeard history over here, too. You had another phrase, I think, that I was like, oh, shit. What was it? Tears in the stomach. Something else that was very specific.
That hurt.
I just got Moosey, what did you do?
Heart. Alright, so these guys ate the whole bag. Where did you guys go to get those? Was it Savannah Candy Company, or was that the Birds cookie shop?
Birds.
Yeah. I haven't, I'm never here early enough because they park in the same garage I do down the street, and they're always going to their cars as I'm leaving the garage. So, damn it, that's the quickie place again. I do like to go to Carmela's though. I don't know if you've ever been down there. The winter months, if I'm down here, I don't bring a thermos. I will go down there and get a latte. It's usually a line, but in the wintertime it's not so bad. But they're always open late. They're actually on the Food Network and TV shows and stuff like that. It's a dessert bar. So it's like a coffee and dessert bar.
Go on that.
I keep getting stuff about banks.
Where at? At Birds? Yeah, Birds. Okay. Again, I mean, the wife and I come down here from time to time. We go to the spice shop all the time because that's where we get all our spices from. But we stock up. She doesn't always like to come down here, and I'm down here every day. So she's like, I don't want to keep dragging you to work. I'm like, I don't work at the spice shop. You need to go to the damn spice shop. Let's go to the spice shop. I know it's 3 in the afternoon. Let's go. So, you guys got your cameras running?
Yeah, my cameras have been recording for 10 minutes.
Okay.
I did nothing.
It's all insured. We're good. It's business. You never know.
Go to your corner.
Yeah, let's go to the corner. Let's see what we can get over there.
See if we have a routine.
Why did you have the fresh?
And you know what questions we're going to ask, so just start giving us some answers, please. Funny, it's my larger group, I always bring them back. This is where Roger goes last. What happened exactly? Once we got up to the sidewalk, she's like, I can't go in there. Like, her heart was beating 1,000 miles an hour, and she just was not moving her head. So we gave her a few minutes, and she ended up coming in for a meeting with us as we were leaving the space, but her mom like left the space to go with her. She was a young girl, she's like 17, 18 years old. So that happened in this space quite a bit. That one's specific because it just happened. You got anything going on? Feel okay? Yeah.
I just got laughing.
Laughing. Like the word laughing or somebody laughing?
Somebody laughing.
It's a young boy.
Country 98. This is the second time I got the number 98.
Well, that's because that's the year Anne Bonny was born. 1698.
It was?
You heard
Okay.
95 earlier. I didn't catch when you said 98, but she was born in 1698.
Sorry, actually, never mind. Yeah, the first time was 95, second time was 98.
Eliza.
But 98 is definitely a good prominent number here. Yeah, again, with this location, consider this. You might get a spike, and I get excited about a 3 in this location just because
We'll be back in a couple weeks, I think it was.
Oh, don't guess. It's always the first
Okay.
thing. Always the first thing you hear. So if it's we'll be back in a couple, you didn't hear weeks.
Okay.
It's okay. It's not
Just
like-
burn it.
Just burn it.
Check the bank. I keep getting things about banks. It's weird.
Charles Molt.
There's our Charles.
Yeah, it's nothing.
I might have to blindfold all 3 of them.
She's always really good with spirit box.
We might start off with her, I think.
The only place she doesn't get anything is in the engine room of our
I got it last
a
time.
little bit, but like they don't like females down there, so they don't talk.
When London and I went through there, all of our terms that we got were all religious terms. It was the weirdest thing. On both
Steven was
gearboxes.
found.
Really, really weird.
I sure remember when we were on New York. I
3,
Swear
2.
words.
I remember that I was like, I'm pretty sure I sat on the bed that someone
I
died
didn't
in,
do it.
and then I also put my arm on another bed that the first person died on, I think.
Oh yeah, and then
I forget. I
don't-
just kept touching the beds that people died in.
I don't remember if I think it was when you were gone, but we figured out how they didn't die from
And the year you were
they died
hit.
from something else. Never. $95,900.
90,000.
Burn.
I'm gonna burn with the flag. We have gotten Anne Bonny. We also got
I
Mary
spent
Louise.
39.
R.
So you're getting a lot interference from this EMF moving around. It's on the highest.
Come with me.
So yours should be at like 3.5. He's getting this much.
No, 0.
0 on both of them.
Well, it's 0.5 on this one and 0 on this one.
Get like 2 more terms out of them, and I'll give them the answers so we can go start this Estes method. Since it stopped. Yeah, imagine that. You get what looks like it's encrypted right here, Johnson. That's where you reset it. I would reset it. X. Get a lot of X. Yes, it happened to reverse song. Because you're moving it too fast. That's why it always looks like those two people. Stuff like that.
I mean, but the difference was, like, when I was back there, I saw it just like.
So
one
much
went
sensitive
two
info.
different people. She went this way. The other one was going that the same direction.
Yeah, if there's 2 different motions, 2 different directions, that's where I'm like, okay, what's going on? There was somebody, and it's 2 people doing 2 different motions, and it's obviously some kind of glitch with moving. Right,
Yeah, they'll already. Way.
Those are a lot of X's in here. Anything else coming out of here? Yep, it's a treasure. That's what everybody says. You get it here all the time.
See the.
Why am I getting the same letters? X and B. I've already done that.
Motions are too fast.
I'm telling you to slow down with that damn camera.
They keep forgetting we have this thing.
No, I know I have it.
Well, we were just talking about, when the movie came back, we looked at these people, and she just said,
I just realized I got killed the mother. Yeah.
That's kind of a piratey term.
Third, the same letter. That we have the same letter.
What is it?
X, B.
Are those like Roman numerals? Is K in Roman numeral? What, X, V?
I just remembered.
It's numerals. That one.
And then I just got F, which is another letter I had before.
So X, V, K, obviously X, V is
Lift or
15.
some sort.
Let's research one.
So we got the Estes method going on right now.
I have to heal.
I'm not listening to what she's saying, so I don't know what she's saying.
E. F. F.
Carter. He's a doctor.
And I just got E again. F. H. I.
Well, the doctor is bleed over from over there. There's probably another clue somewhere in this.
F.
300.
E. H.
Alright, you guys have given me.
Everyone's looking for me.
You're right, Ian. We are looking for you.
Hey, man. Suspects.
I have the lock.
Unfortunate.
What? She said I have the lock, and he said unfortunate. I was just cracking up at that.
Alright, so let's give the answers very briefly so we can go up to Washington Park.
Lifting and encouraging.
That's probably bleed over from the church.
Scared.
Alright, so let's put you guys on pause for just a moment.
What I don't understand is every time Noelle says something, it's like I just heard it, but I couldn't hear it, or I could barely hear it, and I'm like not surprised that she said it.
Why am I getting
they're not synced up.
I just got J,
I know,
K,
but-
and Q. Rapid.
But every time she says something, it's like I've already heard it. Like she didn't, or like I heard it already, but I never recognized it. But I'm never surprised.
Or you just heard it prior,
No, but
and you just didn't repeat it quick enough.
except I didn't hear it though.
So this is
So-
Anne Bonny. Her parents were William Cormack, as already mentioned. The mother was Mary Brennan. This was not another subliminal trick because we already said the name Mary with Mary Reed. It just so happened we had two different Marys. So again, by the way, this I think you remember this is one of the few pictures you can find of her with a shirt on. She used to basically flash, whatever gentleman she was killing to show that they were just killed by a woman. So again, I get teenage boys. I don't need you walking away pissed off like, what the hell is he doing showing naked ladies to my boys?
Brr.
So
I don't want to see that.
I don't really care. HTUL.
Calico Jack. This is what they based Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow.
Well, I
character
got
off of.
Jack twice.
He did say Jack.
Yeah,
That
I
was
got
one of the
Jack
things
twice.
I needed to write down. So he was named that because of the jackets that he wore. So his jackets came from British captains that he killed.
Yeah, I got. Actually, no, I don't know if I said it, but I got Jack. I got Jack several times, and
You said Jack while you were sitting
okay.
down over here.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
think
why
it was like
forgot
the
to say.
second. I think I got it like 3 or 4 times. Sorry.
It's okay. He's excited. He's actually learning stuff. He gets it. So, Calico Jack basically means fancy jacket. That's where the name comes from. The name of his ship is called the Kingston. I don't necessarily expect the word Kingston to come out of the 2 red spirit boxes that we're using because our radio stations are not going to say the word Kingston. But if you heard the word King, that would make sense to me here. I did get the word King on my word list a few nights ago, along with the word jacket, like 2 words away from it. So,
Is it normal for it to like randomly stop recording and start a new recording?
yes.
Okay.
The files
Just
on that
making-
are giant. So what it does is every 10 minutes, I think in 33 seconds or something, it starts a new file. So I just splice them all together so you have one video.
Okay.
It actually takes an overnight process, so I can watch it in the morning as one video to be able to send to you guys.
It used to be like made or something. HTUMN. No? Seems like it can be made more into something.
And I got the word thumb is in there, but without the B.
Looks like odd on those.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not looking at it, I'm looking at it in my head. And the first thing that comes up to me is the word thumb, but if you see the word autumn out of it, at least that it could be.
When he said it, I thought autumn.
It's still kind of vague. It's almost like the last part of it, the UMN.
Yeah.
So the next space is the new space. So those of you with cameras, go ahead and stop them because we're going to be walking 2.5 blocks. There's really no point. Already recording. So all you got to do is make sure it's pointed at them through the whole thing so you guys have the footage. I'll just cut this one away because this is our last stop.
Would you like a picture?
So a couple of tips. So whatever you're drinking and eating, go ahead and wrap it up. So, a couple of tips while you're under. We're going to keep you under for 10 minutes. This is the only part of our time together that I actually time, just so you guys know. When you're under, I want to make sure you guys aren't touching your spirit boxes to mess with the volume so you can actually hear what we're saying. I know that those aren't like top of the line noise canceling headphones, and if the volume is turned down, then you'll be cheating and knowing what questions we're asking. So again, I've seen it in the past, and now I know how to gauge it. The other piece is this can be very disorienting. You're going to be blindfolded, and you're only
disorientation.
only going to hear what's coming out of your radio stations. You're going to repeat every little thing that you hear, but when you're repeating it, you do not need to shout. In fact, I want you to whisper. These other tours that walk around here, like we're going to huddle in even a little bit closer, because again, people will start looking like, what the hell is that guy got him doing now? So again, we're going to huddle in so that really nobody's watching what we're doing over here. But definitely keep it at a whisper. We can hear you. Not to mention, my voice recorder's right here. It's part of the reason why I leave my bag there, so that way we get the whole thing.
I think Connor's gonna have a lot of trouble.
that's what I was laughing at.
Yes.
So, yeah, just gotta whisper. Just keep it low. Not to mention, we got neighbors on the other side of that wall. If we get too loud, things can get a little nasty for them. So we want to try to keep it to a whisper. So first thing you're gonna do. Oh, by the way, when you guys come out of this, and somebody's gonna tap you on the leg to tap you out. If your breathing gets a little too heavy or out of whack for me, I will have a family member tap you out. So again, expect a tap on the leg. When you come out of this, you're going to raise up your earbuds, your noise canceling headphones, and obviously take your blindfold off, but remain seated. again, this can be disorienting. I don't need you walking around. I mean, you've already fallen 4 times and you're sober. So, again, I don't need you getting up and stumbling somewhere, if you get my point. So just stay seated. So, you guys ready to do this?
Sure. Also, well, I don't like board. I know, I'm just worried that it might end up like falling off.
Oh my gosh, you'll be fine.
No, I'm just worried. Okay.
You're good. We're watching everything. Blindfolds first, then earbuds, and then you're going to grab your headphones and put them over top.
Oh.
I don't like not being able to see.
Micah can do it instead.
Nope. Earbuds.
Yeah, I will do it in a heartbeat.
Earbuds first.
Earbuds.
I'll take your place in a heartbeat.
Oh, this is hard.
Ah, lovely. Creepy.
Kind of. Do I put both on?
Why is this playing now, right as we're about to do this?
Are you gonna mess with the volume?
Wait. Do we put both on?
Dude, you are a mess, man. Holy cow. Where'd you find this kid? The people zoo?
He was dropped on the porch by aliens.
London always says she came from
Wait, do I
people
put
zoo.
both on?
Yes.
I should
We
put
don't
them.
want you hearing us.
Hey, Connor.
We can't hear you.
It's a
He's
test.
testing us. He can't.
Hey, Connor. Connor. Connor.
I'm having trouble.
Connor.
So, it is 11
Wait.
o'clock on the dot.
When do we start?
As soon as
As
you.
soon as you get it in your ear.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Noel. Noel. Hi, Noel. Hi,
I can
Connor.
hear his, so I know he's good.
Hi, Noel. Hi, Noel.
And here.
Wait, when am I supposed to know when to start?
We're
Well-
starting now.
Okay.
Hello, Noel.
Motion.
Hey, Noel.
Ow.
Okay, too loud. Got it. Okay. Henry, Timrod, that's who we're seeking to talk to. These 2 people with blindfolds on can hear you. You know how this works. You gave us some good answers last night. So why don't you tell us what your job was? Let's start there. What was your job?
Pain. Ride.
Henry Timrod, what was your job? What did you do for your occupation?
Persian Gulf.
You didn't go golfing for a living.
Rebel.
You were definitely
No.
not a rebel. This was a very shy, timid man, just so you guys know. It usually takes him a minute before we start getting some.
Neck pain.
That's interesting.
White House.
Too afraid.
Too afraid. Henry,
Flower.
Oh, flower's good. Remind me to tell you about flower. Henry Timrod, let's go right into your family. Tell us something about your wife. What was her first name?
Striking young interest.
Is she older or younger than you? Notice how I'm using the phrases that they're saying to kind of maybe twist the question to get something different.
Check it out.
Henry definitely did not say check it out. Henry, tell us if your wife was older or younger than you. I want to say she was like 11 years younger. Like it was a pretty big age gap.
Rain.
there about 4 minutes already.
Couple.
Henry, tell us something specific about your life or your family.
Healthy.
You are not healthy, Mr. Henry. Notice that they're not over talking each other either. It's usually one.
He was talking about them.
Only radio.
It's always one or the other. It's like they have a conversation. I don't sync them up in any way. I just turn them on. Usually in the beginning.
Starting.
Henry, I want you to come
Belong to.
come a little bit closer and tell us something specific about your family or yourself. More specifically, like what you did for a living.
Original theories.
Don't.
Game.
Henry Timrod, do you have other people here with you? Notice that was a yes
Is
no
there someone
question.
walking around back there? I hear walking.
There's somebody probably in the backyard.
There's like,
Those are houses over there, dude. We're in a neighborhood.
I'm just like,
Henry, is somebody else here with you?
Decades. Church. I pray.
Don't.
Okay. Don't what?
Casey.
Henry, what did you just hear? Watch your envoy. It'll spell things out for us here.
okay.
Like we just heard a bicycle bell. It'll spell out the word bell. We've seen it before. Henry, what sound?
Distribution.
What sound are you hearing right now? What did we hear just
Pretty new.
Drug dealer.
now? Ow. So far, this is unsuccessful.
Chicago.
Just so you guys know.
95.
Henry, who else is here with you? Give us a name.
7005.
The future.
Henry, we're asking a lot of questions here. You can answer any one of them. I asked about your occupation.
I doubt.
I asked about your family. The sounds we're hearing right now. What do you want to tell us?
No one.
Hair. I'm afraid.
It's the second time she said that. What are you afraid of, Henry? You know, I'm also a writer. I'm the same guy that's been reading your work that I've been telling you on a nightly
All
basis.
is harmless.
I've been reading your poetry.
Following them down.
Henry Timrod, you only have a few minutes left.
What with guards?
Give us something,
Don't care.
Please give us something specific about your life.
And
Do you want us to end right now?
You had worse.
arms stay.
Stay.
Every day.
Yeah, I come here every day.
Lego.
Do you want us to end right now?
Big sacrifice.
Some beg.
Henry, please tell us yes or no if you would like us to end trying to communicate with you.
That was dark.
Anything coming up on the envoy?
APLQ. That's it.
Appreciate.
Get me some.
You can give.
I got X.
Live in a.
Tell us the way.
about 9 minutes they've been under. Henry, we're going to be...
Cobblestone Street.
We are near Cobblestone Street.
It's mentioned.
Where is it mentioned? I thought I just heard like
Hard to
footsteps.
cry. 50.
Close on. Don't you be messing around with me.
I'm not. Utmost respect, Mr. Timrod.
I told you in the face.
So it's
Gun.
Let's go ahead and tap him out. I would call this definitely unsuccessful.
life.
Oh my god.
Oops.
Well, first question is how do you feel?
I feel fine.
Fine.
How was it?
Weird.
How long do you think you were under?
Not 10 minutes.
10 minutes, almost on the dot.
Wow.
In 3 seconds, it'll be 10 minutes on the dot.
It's funny how you say not 10 minutes.
It doesn't feel that way. It feels like you're under about 2. So, one of the interesting things I find about this experiment is that normally you guys won't talk over each other when I'm doing a double blind like this. You guys normally go one at a time, and that's exactly what happened here. You can go ahead and stop the video at this point.